cool, for space things that we had never seen before. And this stuff was, it was amazing when whatever that thing was that was moving behind the guys on the white sands. The perspective is so, it looked like you could reach back there and touch them. And I think that's been the difference in depth. Maybe it's called depth of field or something.
There's that. There's a lot of...
Yeah.
We are.
Are we ready?
Yeah, we're on.
Let's see.
How long have you been doing this? How many years?
I've been I've been working at ILM for 26 years.
All right, so what's the big change in the last 10 years? Other than the power of the computers keeps getting and able to take you to a lot more places, but what is the major difference that we're seeing that I can't really figure out?
Well, I like to tell folks that I come from a photographic background, and of course we have a lot of technical people that come from the computer graphics side of things, and I have to tell you I've been somewhat displeased with the look of what computer graphics subjects look like when you finally get to film and so forth. It's taken a long time to get things to look as good in computer graphics terms as they do if you could go out and shoot a model or shoot a real plate of something. What's happened? Well, I think the sensibility of the artist has gotten a lot better. The eye and the ability to observe and then implement that in the computer has increased, without a doubt. Plus, we've got a lot more firepower to do this kind of job. Some of these robots took 36 hours to render for a frame. It's very complicated. It's a lot of stuff that you're hauling around inside the computer, you might say.
Well, it's always been a cost issue for a director. I mean, you guys could always do pretty amazing things if they could afford it. It was so many $100,000 or $1 million a minute or whatever it was per film. And something must have gotten a little more affordable, because this movie, if it was done 10 years ago, God knows what it would have cost.
Well, I don't think we could have done it.
Yeah.
First of all, what was our goal? It was trying to make hard bodies, which are the robots and the cars and the trucks and the helicopters, look photoreal. It sounds so simple, but it's very difficult in terms of without the layers of paint. You put on color, you put on the metal flake, the clear coat paint, the scratches, the dirt, the sheen, the bling, all those layers and layers of things that either are paint or photographic techniques have to be installed in these for them to look real, because you see a car every day, you know exactly what it looks like, and our measurement is the normal person that sees this stuff all the time.
Well, this is why you guys This is why you guys had models for so many years. Did a combination of the CGI with the actual physical model and other tricks, because you really couldn't do things in a three-dimensional way.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's taken a long time to get to this point, and I think we're just on baby steps, even with technology, artistry, and everything in terms of what we can do in the computer. We're just realizing some of the great things that we can do. It's still enormously laborious and takes a lot of people. I had up to 350 people working on this show to get it to the look that it was and get the shots done in time. So there's a lot of labor and a lot of love.
I was laughing because one of the shots just then reminded me of an old ancient movie called Tron, if anybody could ever remember that.
I know that one.
and that was pretty fakey looking movie, because it was the best they could do at the time, and it was cool. But just that freeze frame there with the reflections and the way that computer graphic fits in on top of that real life scene. I guess those are real buildings. You never know anymore. Are those real buildings?
Those are real.
All right, but the way that thing looks so real in that and doesn't look like you glued it in, I think that's the biggest thing.
Every single camera position we shot, and sometimes it was 5 at a time, my match mover ran out in the street and photographed, basically stood in a circle, photographed with a wide-angle lens all the environment, so that we could create the reflections that go back on these guys.
The key is reflections in a lot.
Got to have reflections. We lit this in a way you do studio lighting. We actually put movie lights on our guys as they move around, and with cutters and flags and nets and all the things that you see in a real motion picture set. So we're trying to get away from just CG stuff and be more like real world photography.
And I guess that is just amazing. And I know you still have trouble doing water, and I know you have to, the Sandman effect in Spider-Man was really cool, because that was a real challenge. But this one amazed me. I have not been in awe of special effects I don't remember. I mean, really, maybe it was Jurassic Park. Maybe it was some of the later Star Wars movies were still pretty amazing. Matrix had its moments, you know, which reminded me of that scene there, and a few others. But it was definitely all the greatest hits of what you guys have done in the last 25 years were all up there on the screen in this movie, and then in spades.
Well, thank you.
Do you feel that way too?
I do. And I like to point out to people that this is an older,
Yeah.
like 10 or 15-year-old Optimus Prime toy. This guy has 51 parts. Our computer graphics animated version has 10,108. And I think it's difficult for people to wrap their heads around the fact that these are all computer graphics. I think the goal was to make them look, well, like they were real objects, real puppets, if you will. But there are only like a dozen shots that are actually puppets in the movie. The rest are all computer graphics.
You know, then when you mix them with the brilliant people that do the sound, it's pretty amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.